Alright, we're gonna go 10 jumping jacks go. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo set, it'll go, yo, dual, up, and you will get. Alright, hands on your hips for neck exercises. Ready, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, you dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, arm swings, 2 forward, 2 back. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, you dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, and waist bends to not yet. We're gonna hold, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, and behind, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, waist bends to the side first. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, forward and backward bends. Ready, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual. Toe touches to the side first, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual. Feet together for knee bends. Ready, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual. Legs short to the side first, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and switch, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual. Same thing but longer, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual. Other side, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and down to the ground, one leg out, other leg in, 2 down, 2 over, 2 down, 2 back, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual. Other leg over for ankle rotations. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, so go, yo, dual. Keeping your leg there, down for a 10 count. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and you will foot flat, arm across, and twist. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, and you will switch our legs. Other leg out, 2 down, 2 over, 2 down, 2 back. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, sit, it'll go, yo, dual. Other leg over for ankle rotations. Hana, dual, set, net, toss, yo, so go, yo, dual, hana, dual, set, net, toss, yo, so go, yo, dual. Keeping that leg there, down for a 10 count. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and you will foot flat, arm across, and twist. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and you will legs apart. We're gonna go down to one side first, and hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and you will through the middle down to the other side. Try to get your chest to your knee instead of like your head to your knee. You'll get a better stretch that way. Hana, dual, set, net, toss it, yo, set, it'll go, yo, dual, and you will Down to the middle, same thing. Try to get your chest to the floor or as close as you can. Hana, dual, set, net, da, set, yo, set, ilga, yo, dual, aha, and you will bottom your feet together and hold your knees down. Hana, dual, set, net, da, set, yo, set, ilga, yo, dual, aha. And you, last one, legs straight out. Try to fold yourself in half. Hana, dual, set, net, da, set, yo, set, ilga, yo, dual, aha. And you will shake your legs out. And everyone shake back up. And everyone shake it. Yeah! Come say one man. Two man. 3 man. 4 man. 5 man. 6 man. 7 man. 8 man. 9 man. Come up. And horse hands to the shin. Sit up straight.
Elbow straight.
And your arm. 1 man. 2 man. 3 man. 4 man. 5 man. 6 man. 7 man. 8 man. 9 man. Hey! And Garo yeah. All right, it is self-defense week, so we're going to start with our self-defense warm-ups. The most important thing I think for right now is making sure that every time we do a move, we have our tight fists. So really quick, we got a thumbs up. Our thumb goes right over here, not inside, not on top, right here, right? As tight as you can. No donut holes when you're punching, right? We shouldn't be able to see anything through. Tight as you can. On every move, you should feel your fingernails, maybe a teeny tiny bit on your palm. All right, so hands are up, sparring to set. All right, we're gonna start off with our jab. Lead hand, our back heel is coming up. We're moving forward with it. Lead hand jab, other hand up. Master Glad, find me someone who's trying their best.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you, ma'am. And head on. 2, set.
Elbow in.
That's it. And reverse hand, cross. Instead of coming up, our back heel is turning. Head on. Back fast, hands are still up. Dual. Tight fist. Set. Net. That's it. Lead reverse. 1, 2. I come forward and turn.
Senior Instructor Sullivan, before you continue, I want to make a point to everyone, okay? Really quickly. I will put it back on you, I promise. When we're punching, first, our hand should be protecting our face. Our chin is in. If our chin is up, it's going to expose more of our face here. Elbow should always stay under your hand, turning at the last minute. Don't bring your elbow out to punch, okay? When you do it, you have to remember, your arms are not as strong as the rest of your body or your leg. So you have to put your whole body behind it, okay? It's gonna be faster than your kicks, but you have to drive in, turning your hip, using your power, and coming back strong, just like we have our chamber and our pullback. When we're going through, that is extremely important, okay? More than anything else. Otherwise, if you ever try to use your punch, it's gonna hurt you rather than help you, okay? My idea of teaching you guys how to punch is either 1, you know how to do it so you can use it, or 2, you understand the concept of it so you can defend from something like this, okay? But you need to be aware of these things because 1, it makes, I can tell all the time in movies when people are gonna punch because they'll bring their elbow because they're not trained to do it properly, right? Okay, it's gonna be a fight scene next. Yes, you wanna be able to see it and respond to these. So 1, you need to know what it is to do correctly. And 2, what's wrong, okay? Especially in this situation when people don't know the same kicks that we do, everyone will throw a punch. They don't know how to do it correctly, but they'll all try. So please be aware of that as we're going through. Okay, sorry, Senior Instructor Sullivan.
All good, ma'am. Thank you very much. All right, so let's make sure on these punches, our elbows are in and our body is behind and our chin is down. Right? Okay, so now we're gonna go lead reverse. 1, 2, coming up and then turning again, using our hips, using our whole body behind it. Ready, and dual. Set. Net. That's it. And retreat. Lead hand punch. Jab. Dual. Set. Back fast. Net.
More power.
That's reverse hand punch, returning in. Hana! Two. Set. Net. That's it. Lead reverse. 1, 2. I really, really, really feel the snap and power on the second one because I'm coming in with my whole body. So I know you guys are on mute, but you should hear your own snap, right? And ha! Still having those tight fists. Duel. Set. Net. That's it. And switch feet. Lead hand hook punch. Coming. We're going to go to our knee strike. We're going to go to our knee strike for now. Our knee strike, we're either going behind someone's neck or on their shoulders. So our hands are out. We're coming in. 1, and then back. I want to make sure that I'm not just bringing my knee straight up, right? I'm using my hips going forward. I'm like thrusting in 1, 2, as hard and as fast as I can. My whole body's behind it, not just my leg. In, right? As hard as we can. Hands are up. And up. And back. Hands are still up. 2. And back. Set. Good. Net. And that's it. Good. Now we're going to put it together. We're going to go lead reverse, out, knee strike. Ready? And up. And back. Good. Duel. Set. Net. One more. Make sure you're really driving in as hard as you can. That's it. And switch feet. Knee strike again. 1. In. Driving it forward. Hard as you can. Ha! Good. Duel. Set. Tight fists. Net. One more. That's it. Good. Putting it together. Jab cross. Knee strike and back. Hands are up. Ha! Good. Duel. Set. Net. Last one. That's it. And borrow. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Senior Instructor Sullivan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna move into more self-defense kicks. We did this on Monday. I do want to make a point though. I'm gonna try and say this in a way that doesn't come off to anything outside of Taekwondo, but I'm sure it'll relate in one way or another. Everything that we do, yes, it's a way to defend yourself, and there are things that absolutely will injure people and hurt people, okay? But as martial artists, we're not trying to ever hurt anyone. Everything is always defending. So what we try to do in every move that we do is find a way to make someone uncomfortable enough that they will stop bothering us or release us or wherever it needs to be, right? So when we're going through, there are things that if we go too hard will hurt people. But the really pain is what people respond to the best. And it's awful to say, but people will totally back off if they feel pain, right? If you're running and your legs start hurting, you're gonna stop running. If you're standing too long and you're gonna sit down, right? When you burn yourself, you react right away. That's what people respond to, unfortunately, in many situations, and it's awful, but we don't wanna hurt them. There are ways that we can make them uncomfortable without injuring people. So whenever you do your self-defense, remember to only go as far as you're gonna make someone uncomfortable, because the minute you injure them, you also have to remember it is on you in any situation. When I have defended myself, and I've been very happy about the way I've handled it, because in the instance of every single time me defending myself, whether I used a kick, a self-defense technique, whatever it is, I've only done it enough that the person realized, 1, that I could stop them, and 2, that it was uncomfortable. It hurt, ow, 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 ow. never injured them. So when they ran to tell the teacher or whoever it was when I was older, and they're like, why did you do this? And I explained, well, I needed them to let go. They weren't listening to me. They're not injured. They're fine. The minute they stepped away, I stopped. They go, okay, you're fine. Go do what you were going to do. You're wrong, kind of thing. And that's what we have to consider as we're going through, especially in our self-defense movements, okay? We consider sparring in more of a competition form. This is the realistic sense that we use. So anything that you do, please, I know it's very hard to think before we do these things, but just remember that as we go through, okay? I have to say that because most of my kids are like, I'm gonna fight. And I know that there's a lot going on right now. So I just wanted to clarify as we're going through, especially Hapkido can be really painful. That being said, let's do some self-defense kicks. So one of the best ways that we can defend ourselves is by using our kicks to make space since our legs are longer. I'm also going to do on Monday, we did an outside leg kick. I consider that one of the most beneficial ways to stop someone from following you or having their balance, okay? So we're gonna go through those today and then we'll end with a little bit of forms. But that's what we're gonna do. Let's have some fun. Let's do lots of kicks today. Okay. So to warm up, we're not gonna do any high kicks today. We're not kicking above our head. We're not going crazy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our kicking stance here. We're gonna practice control and technique. We're gonna do a low front kick. We're gonna do it, let's keep it, let's go like belt level highest. The idea is when we're here, it's reaching out. Instead of doing it high, which looks really cool in form, we want to use it as a push. So here, reaching far out, yeah? Making space with that kick. So when I'm here, hand up, reaching out rather than going up and then coming back, okay? You can push your hip into it, but the idea is to just make space. So hands up, kicking stance. Low front kick by my count. And hana. And then coming back strong. Good. Hands stay up the whole time. Dual. Set. Net. Dasa. Good. And switch your feet. Same thing on the other leg. Ready? And hana. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Reach a little bit farther every time. Dual.
Nice job.
Set. Net. Dasa.
A little bit lower, Tia Zoller.
Good. And switch your feet. So that is our low front kick, right? It's a little bit different than what we're doing in forms, okay? The next kick what we're gonna do is very similar to a roundhouse kick. This is the only time we're allowed to kick below top belt level, okay? Only time. Next time when we start doing kicking for sparring and whatnot, if I see those kicks low, we're gonna have a problem. When we're going through, it's called an outside leg kick, okay? If you're not here Monday, I'll explain it for you now. On the outside of our legs, we have the iliotibial band, and we also have a muscle cluster. The iliotibial band is one of the biggest muscles in the leg, and it's one of the tightest muscles, okay? You know anything about Master Glad? I get made fun of all the time because I have really bad knees. I have really bad knee on this side because my iliotibial band is so tight here that my it creaks like an old person, a really old person. So that being said, if you take your fingers and you dig them into the outside of your leg, it is uncomfortable. If you ever like banged your leg into the side of the table or chair and then you're walking a little funny or you still feel it a few minutes later, that's what it is. So an outside leg kick, you're taking your shin, because your shin is really bony, and it's gonna hurt more than hitting with your foot, and you're driving, taking a step, and you're driving your bone into that outside muscle, okay? That's not going to injure them, but it's definitely gonna hurt. I guarantee you, if you do that, because you need someone to stop following you, and you run away, they're gonna be behind you at least by a minute, okay? It's definitely something that's painful. If you find that one spot where there's a muscle cluster, you can literally make their leg jerk and give out. Who's that down there? That's Aditi down there. Yes, Aditi? Aditi's done this to her dad. You've done this in class. If you've ever been in family class, and when people go for, like, when you go for someone's leg, they'll automatically start doing that too. So the idea when we do a regular roundhouse kick, we stop, we keep it in line with our body. With this, we're like swinging a baseball bat. We want to go all the way through. So here, I take a little step out so I can drive my leg all the way through much farther, okay? The idea of really like taking their leg out from underneath them. And we're not using our foot, we're using our shin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna step and drive through like we're sweeping someone's leg. We're taking their leg out, okay? I consider this one of the best kicks to use in self-defense. And it works. I know, I use it to protect myself, I promise. Okay, so from here, when I count, we step. So you have to take that little step, otherwise you're gonna go and you're gonna hurt your knees. So step out a little bit, swing your leg across by my counts. And you should hear the wind. You should hear the snap. That's how strong your kick should be. And hana. Good. Dual. Set. Net. Dasa. Good. Switch your feet. Same thing, other leg. Ready? And hana. Dual. Set. Net.
Nice job, Mr. Brady.
Dasa. Good. And switch your feet. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move into, we need to make space. Yes? So instead of taking someone's leg out because they're too close to us, instead of punching them because they're too close to us, we have enough time, we have enough distance where we can keep and make space before they get too close. So from here, we're going to turn heel to the target, pick your front leg up, you're going to pop it straight out, pull it back for front leg side kick. I said this Monday, I'll say it again, your front leg side kick is for faster reaction. It's not going to give you as much power as a back leg kick, okay? But if someone's coming in fast and you know you don't have time, your front leg side kick is the way to go, okay? So from here, here's to the target. We're gonna kick, pull, land knee fronts. I want you to hit these as hard as you can, just like you did those outside leg kicks. Those were amazing. Keep it up. Ready? By my count. Hana. Good. Dual. Keep your hip over. So, Mr. Brady, turn your body away from, yep, and point your heel to the target instead of your toes. Heel to the target. Good. And set. Net. One more. Dasa. Good. And switch your feet. Same thing on the other side. Heel to the target. You should be looking over your shoulder. Yes? Looking over your shoulder, body sideways. Kick, pull, land in front. And hana. Dual. Set. Net. Dasa. Good, and switch your feet. Okay, moving on. From here, we're going to do back kick. Even if you're an orange belt, green belt, try it, okay? Where our front leg side kick is faster, our back kick is stronger because of the way that we coil. So here, I turn my heel to the target like I was doing, look over my other shoulder. I'm gonna sit on that front leg, knee comes up, kick, pull, okay? Back kick is such a powerful kick. It's such a good kick to use. This is when I would practice a lot, okay? Hands up, back kick by my count. And hana. Good, dual. Set.
Nice, Mr. Gardner. Lock it straight out.
Net.
Good.
Dasa. Good, and switch your feet. Same thing, other side. Ready? And hana.
You got it. Oh, you had it.
Dual.
Good. That's it. Lock it straight out.
Set. Net. Dasa. Good, and bar up. Check. And connect. Oh, that was fun. I was gonna give you guys a challenge, but then I was like, oh, you guys look ready to move on. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our balance breaks. One of the other important aspects, we have our wrist grabs. It's very hard. Obviously, if you don't have a partner to practice with at home to do these, or even when we're not in person, but having a good balance break makes it so you don't really have to use your self-defense half the time if you do it correctly. So I'm going to go through the green belt balance break because that one is actually really, really beneficial to us. So even orange belt will get to do this, we're kind of jumping ahead, and then we're gonna go over a basic Hapkido balance break that we have for blue belts now. So when we're in Junbi, the green belt self-defense is the idea someone punches straight at me, okay? I don't want to move backwards. Moving backwards gives someone more room, okay? If I move sideways, I'm still gonna end up being in line with them. So I want to move where they have their back to me. So what I do, if someone punches, I'm going to move forward off to an angle here into my horse stance. Stances are key to everything that we do. Everything that we do has some type of stance, okay? This is going to make it so we don't lose our balance. So here, going off the side at an angle, okay? That way, as they're punching, they're going that way. I'm probably at their back right now. They're not going to be able to attack me. Okay? From here, whichever foot moves, that hand's gonna block. Keep their arm from swinging into us. Because if they punch, they might try to move their arm, block away, push it away. Punch. Okay? So when I count, we're gonna go off to this side horse stance, block, punch, and then come back. Okay? By my count. We're gonna stick with this side for now. We're not gonna do the other side yet. Ready? And off to side horse stance. Block, punch. Good. Go back. Duel. Good. And back.
Nice job.
Set. Good.
Got it, Mr. Zoller. Nice.
Net. Good. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Same thing. Whichever leg moves, that hand's gonna block. Other hand punches. Ready? And hana. Duel. Set. Net. One more. Dasa. Good. Awesome. So that's the first green belt self-defense. There are 4 total for adults, but I just want to give you guys a little preview. Please practice that if you can, no matter your rank. It gives you the idea of moving forwards out of the way instead of backwards, which in many cases is better, okay? You're cutting off someone's power. You're giving yourself an escape because most people try to back you into some type of wall or corner. So you going past them gives you the ability to move any direction you now need to go, okay? So I would urge you to practice that as much as possible. The other type of self-defense balance break that we do is for our Hapkido blue belts and higher, okay? Anyone can do it, it's very beneficial, but blue belts and higher learn the second part of this. So here, the idea is someone grabs our wrist, right? We do a live hand, we open our hand up, we rotate it up, we just made it harder for them to hold on to, okay? So rotating our hand and then bringing it to our body makes it so our arm has more control and they have less, okay? It's called an anchor. Our whole body is stronger than our arm, so bringing it against our side actually gives us more power. So here, it's all Hapkido is circles. If you ever watch people do Hapkido, it's all circles as they're going. It's quite fun until you get really dizzy. But here, you want to rotate your hand and bring it up. Think of it like Junbi. When we're here, our hand flips and it comes into our side, to our chamber, yes? It's that same idea, but our hand is open. So from here, when I count, you're going to bring one hand open and in, and then back down to Junbi. Then we'll do the other side. Open and in, back down to Junbi. So by my count, ready? And hana. And then back down, duel. Back down, set, net, Dawson, Yosef. Good. So that's the first part of our balance break. Once our hand is there, it does not move. We have to remember that our arm is not as strong as the rest of our body. It might be faster when we're punching, but realistically it has no use to us right now because it's not protecting anything. So once our hand is in, we leave it there, okay? The next thing that we need to do is we need to put distance between our hand and the person who's grabbing it. So we're gonna step that leg back into a back stance, far away from that person. Back stance is your defensive stance, okay? So all of your weight is on your back leg, but your front foot is still pointed towards your opponent. Horse stance, this is how I would face someone in my horse stance, okay? Horse stance is no good, yes? Front stance, my weight is going forward. I want to be away from them. So whenever you're defending yourself, back stance is a defensive stance that you would use. So here, I step back at an angle into my back stance here. So when I count, we're just going to bring our hand up and in and step back at an angle. Ready? And hana. Good. Dual. And one more set. Nice. Let's try the other side now. Ready? And hana. Dual. Set. Good. The next part of our balance break is we use our other hand. So when this hand's up and in, this hand, we can't really use our legs to make space. We won't have the balance or the ability to, especially with someone this close. So what we do is we basically palm shake or high five them, usually in the forehead, if you would like, or in the face, as long as you don't break anything. But here, as I go back into my back stance, this hand's gonna come forward to make sure I have space, okay? Especially because if you do it properly and you're already really strong or you have really good technique, they're gonna fall into you, I guarantee it. Because most people aren't gonna think about letting go. So they're gonna fall into it. And pop them right on the head. Remind them who's in charge. So from here, hand comes in, you step back, other hand comes up, okay? We're gonna do that, starting with this side first. Ready? And hana. Back. Dual. And set. Net.
Nice, Mr. Gardner. Make sure you're not crossing your legs. Step off to the same side, like to the outside.
So my left leg moves to my left. My right leg moves to my right. So I don't bring my feet behind me. Okay, let's try the other side. So hand in, back like this. Ready? There you go, Mr. Gardner. And hana. And back. Dual.
Even harder, Assistant Leader Zoller.
Set.
Nice, Mr. Brady. Good, Miss Thompson.
Net. Dasa. Good. The last thing I'm going to say, that is your balance break. The last thing I'm going to say about this, once your hand is into your side, any motion you have, keep it tight to your side and make your circles small, okay? There are a lot of people, there's one where you grab someone's wrist like this. So they grab you and you get their wrist to be here and you're holding it like this. So you have your thumb on top, their hand is facing them and you're going to twist it. Most people bring someone's hand up and down, okay? If you're doing your balance break and your hand is here, the lower you keep it, the more leverage you have, okay? Because now if someone's arm is up, I can do this really easily. But if I do it farther down, I don't have as much room to move. I don't have as much room to fight it. So once you're in tight, low, keep it here. If you have one, there's one where you rotate it over, keep it tight. One where you come through like this. Anything you do, keep it tight, use your core, okay? Because just using your hands and making big circles with them is very flashy, it doesn't do much for you. So pre-framing for when you're able to do this on other people. And then it's a lot of fun. Then you can flip people. My favorite one, you actually get to flip them. It's really, really cool. But that is our balance break, okay? It is something that works really, really well. You can easily loosen someone's wrist without having to do the rest of your self-defense. The one thing that I have to say, and I said this with Instructor Sullivan, self-defense is a magic trick. Give them one thing to focus on and they'll forget about everything else. You make them fall into you, they're totally gonna forget they're holding your hand. Totally let go. Guarantee it. It works very, very well. Okay, that being said, I hear that Senior Instructor Sullivan does some really fun things with you at the end of class. So I'm kind of curious to see how she would end class because I missed on Monday. So I'm gonna let her end class.
Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to do Instructor Says again or what?
Whatever you want. Actually, to hear it, like, just, I know I'm gonna find this very amusing to watch. So whatever you're gonna do, I'm gonna enjoy myself and watch this.
Also, really quick, I just want to say, since we were talking about always like on the self-defense side and not the like aggressive side, your balance break, like if you're really on the street and someone is actually like grabbing you and trying to pull you, if you don't think immediately to go straight like this, right? Another thing that could be a balance break is like anything. If someone grabs me and I scream as loud as I possibly can, that's gonna make them be like, for a second, and then I can do, you know, my self-defense, or I can, you know, anything I want, right? But like, if you're ever in a real situation and someone grabs you, you don't have to think, what did Master Glab tell me to do like 4 weeks ago, right? You don't have to go 1, 2, 3. Like if someone grabs Instructor Roshu and she just yells, right, they're gonna let go for a second and then she's gonna have her opportunity. So it's always just about being safe.
Glad and practice what I say though.
But also listen to Master Glab. That being said, we're gonna end with Instructor Says. We have 1 minute. All right. Instructor Says we're starting. Instructor Says true. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did anyone bow? All right. Instructor Says Jimmy. Instructor Says horse hands position. Instructor Says low block. Hana. Did anyone block? Instructor Says hana. Instructor Says duel. Instructor Says set. Net. All right. Instructor Says borrow. Instructor Says 10 jumping jacks go. Hana. Duel. Set. Net. Down. Set. Yo, freeze. No, I didn't get anyone that time. Instructor Says yeah. Instructor Says Anjo. Instructor Says yellow set. Instructor Says Anjo. Instructor Says yellow set. Instructor Says yellow set. Yellow set means stand up. Oh, did anyone sit down? Ela set is stand up. Anjo is sit down. The floor's name is Joe. You sit on Joe. Right? All right. Instructor Says eat on. Instructor Says eat on. Eat on. Eat on. Instructor Says teeter-draw. Teeter-draw. What? The saber! Oh! Instructor Says teeter-draw. All right. Instructor Says eat on, and then like double teeter-draw, so all the way around. Instructor Says do it again. Instructor Says do it again. And do it again. Did anyone do it again? No, just me. Instructor Says sure. Yeah. Face Master Glab, Selman Cake, and yeah. Oh, what? Instructor Says game is over. Now face Master Glab, cheer yeah. Selman Cake, and yeah. Face this way, cheer yeah. And class dismissed. Come to me, dog.
That was fun. I felt like we were dragons for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay. We can't let all the kids have all the fun though.
No, ma'am. Have a good night, guys. Awesome job.